What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Welcome into the Hoop Hogs video mailbag. I'm Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas and the Pod at the Palace. And folks, we're moving right along in our player preview series for the Razorbacks. We made it through most of the guys in the top 9 rotation, at least who we expect those guys to be. We've been talking strengths and weaknesses, expectations, projections, breaking down some film, a little bit of everything. Today, we move on to DJ Wagner. And I think maybe the top burning question for the Razorbacks going into this season is whether or not DJ Wagner is ready to take the next step, make a leap, that freshman to sophomore jump for Arkansas. They certainly need him to. And I think by now we all kind of know the story with DJ Wagner. It's kind of the La Familia factor with his family, with Coach Cal. There's a long history there. McDonald's All-American, a 5-star heralded prospect coming out of high school, and honestly was pretty solid, I think, as a true freshman. But he definitely did fall short of the lofty expectations. A lot of people thought he'd be that next one-and-done lottery pick for Cal, and that just wasn't the case. And I think he took a lot of heat because Cal opted to start him over Rob Dillingham and Reed Shepherd, who were obviously both lottery picks there for Kentucky last season. Had an ankle injury that held him back as well. But still, I think you you kind of go through and look at DJ, if you just took the name away and you looked at the stats, you'd think that's not too bad for a true freshman, right? People expected him to go nuts and be one of the better players in the country right away. But if I just said, hey, look at this stat line and you tell me if you think this is good for a true freshman in the SEC, 10 points per game, 3.3 assists per game, better than a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, a couple boards per game, just under a steal per game. I think you take that in most cases. Wasn't super efficient, right? There's no need to sugarcoat it. 40.5% from the field. That needs to go up. 29.2% from 3 on some pretty decent volume there. I like the number of makes he had, just under 30. So he's about 1 make per game. Got to be higher than that. 76.6% from the free throw line. That's fine for a true freshman. Here's the deal. Cal was super bullish about DJ Wagner a couple weeks ago when he was doing his preseason press conference with media, saying, hey, this is a guy who was balling out before his injury. He was SEC Freshman of the Week 3 times, and he's healthy now. He's more athletic than he was a year ago. His voice stands out on the team. He leads by example at practice. Okay, great. I mean, you love to hear it. Those are all the things that you were hoping for. Now let's see it, right? I love DJ's size in the backcourt. 6'4", probably 185, 190. A guy who can really get downhill, score it with that left hand around the rim. You'll see that here shortly. He can guard. I think he's a good on-ball defender. Has some work to do off the ball, awareness, staying locked in, and everything like that. Let's see. I don't believe, I should say, that DJ Wagner's ever going to be just a knockdown shooter, a sniper from 3. But I do believe he can be respectable as a threat out there. Again, he was sub 30% last season. That's not great, but he was just 4 makes away. Had he made 4 more 3-pointers that he took over the course of the year, he would have been about a 33% 3-point shooter. And they think all of a sudden you feel a lot differently about that part of his game, right? Mainly, and again, like, he doesn't have to be a 40% 3-point shooter to find success at Arkansas. He just needs to be respected enough out there to where, 1, teams aren't comfortable helping off of him when he's off the ball, and 2, where they don't just go under ball screens relentlessly, because that takes away from what he's able to do as a driver, and it clogs things up for Arkansas. So it doesn't have to go from a below average shooter to an excellent shooter for that to work. You just need to go from a below average shooter to an average shooter, one that has to be respected. That's all you're looking for there. That is something that I think he can do. Let's check out a couple game clips from last season that we've got from DJ. I think we've got one from the game that he scored 28 points in against Marshall early in the year, probably one of his best offensive games of the season. And then a few clips from an SEC game, I believe, against Missouri. Let's see what we got here. So there you see him right away. Now he'll do that. He'll dance a little bit out there, but he's got the ability to get guys on skates. But he's at his best when he's kind of getting north to south. And you'll see here, he's really good at getting downhill. I think he understands angles. He's able to use his body well. They can finish on either side, and he likes going to that left hand. Just kind of slithers his way in there and gets the finish. Here we go in transition. Ray runs the floor, beats everybody down. So it doesn't have to be a situation with DJ where he's always initiating offense. He's a scoring-minded guard, can distribute. He's going to be asked to run a lot of point guard for Arkansas this season. But it might be a deal depending on who you have in the backcourt. We've talked about maybe a 3-guard look with Boogie, DJ, and Nelly Davis. And it's like whoever gets the rebound or the outlet or whatever, you initiate the break. Everybody else fill the lanes on the wings. It doesn't have to be the same guy every time. But what you'll see here is DJ really thrives. He plays well in transition. Kentucky played super fast last year, and they were really good offensively. And we've heard Coach Cal say things about, yeah, we're going to play fast. We're going to share the basketball. That's kind of right up a DJ's avenue there from the standpoint of, can he be effective in the half court? Yeah, sure. But he's really good in transition, kind of getting downhill in the open floor. See what we got here. Here we go again. See, and it's just a subtle thing, but sometimes when wings are running the floor like that, they get a little bit too tight, too compact. There's not enough spacing. He was patient as he was running the floor, started taking his angle at about the 3-point line there, and then got the dump off for the bucket. Well done. Little defense there, block that. So get that weak stuff out of here, out of bounds. Like I said, I think he was a little bit hampered with that ankle towards the end of last season, but he's first of all, he's tough. He's super competitive, really good at keeping his man in front. He's strong, so he doesn't give up too much ground there. If you're going to make a shot against DJ Wagner, it's going to have to be a tough one. Like we've seen Boogie Flan score on him in some of these practice clips, but it's good defense. He's keeping him in front, and Boogie's rising up and knocking down mid-range jumpers, like low percentage shots that he's making. So good offense on Boogie's part, but DJ can guard now. Here he is dancing a little bit. I don't like that. Okay. There's nothing worse in this business than a long 2. So if you're going to do the step back, get your feet behind the 3-point line. But you'll see here, like it's not the best looking form I've ever seen. It's not the worst I've ever seen. But it just, the shot feels hard off the rim. Most of the time, even the ones that he makes, you don't hear that swish exactly as much as you hear the kind of the dunk on the rim. It's just kind of a hard shot. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I feel about it. Whatever, rattled it home there. Here we go again, taking his man off the dribble. That dude can guard him, so he got to the left. Good job. That's the DJ Wagner 3-pointer that I do like. Now, I'd like his shoulders to be squared up a little bit more. I would like him to kind of land where he leaves there. You can see the feet are staggered, but he knocks that down. But I like the quality of the shot in terms of, okay, right off the catch, you're getting into the rhythm, and you knock it down, as opposed to the off the dribble ones. I could live without a bunch of those probably, but bang, he knocked it down. Again, attacking in transition. That's tough sledding for anybody, much less a mid-major big man there. But the in and out, he's got it. Euro step, he's got it. Pretty deep bag, I think, around the rim. He is at his best getting downhill to the basket and finishing. Running the floor in transition again. Like, how many times have you seen him initiating the break as opposed to getting out on the wing and finishing on the break? Pretty good. And he's not a super explosive above the rim type of guy. I remember one big dunk highlight that I saw from him, but he doesn't have to be an above the rim player because of the strength that he has there in the backcourt. Didn't have anything, kicked out, relocated. That is a good 3-point shot. Again, didn't force anything. And there's some of that distribution. Like, he probably could have drawn a foul and got to the free throw line there, but he had a wide open shooter there in the corner, and he found him. I'm guessing that's going to be the same thing here. Let's see. Coming off the ball screen. Oh, no, he just attacks Connor Vanover. Listen, forget everything I just said. If you get in ball screen action and you are a guard in the SEC and you see Connor Vanover in front of you, it's barbecue chicken. You just got to go right at him. That's exactly what he did. We're on to the Mizzou clips. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you right now who can't guard DJ Wagner. It's this guy. It's Nick Honor. He can't do it. So this is probably going to be fun. Whoop. I still don't like that shot, though. There's that long 2 again, man. Listen, either get downhill and get to the rim or shoot that 3. I'm not somebody who's opposed to the mid-range jumper. In fact, I like it. But the long 2, like the heel on the 3-point line thing, none of that. Here's Honor again. Yeah, he's already got him on his hip, so this should turn into a good play. You had the best of both worlds there. You got Nick Arner guarding you, and you have Connor Vanover as the help defender. That's easy money for a guy like DJ Wagner. You love to see it. I didn't know this was going to turn into a Mizzou roast session, but here we are. See what we got here. Uses the ball screen, little hezzy, but then just gets right to that left hand. He's really good with that left hand around the basket, which is interesting. Nice kick out there. Here we go in transition. Finds the shooter in rhythm. Bang. It's good work. There's another jumper. Okay. Pretty good stuff there. So, yeah, I mean, you can tell just by watching. DJ Wagner's a super talented player. A lot of things that he does well, and obviously some things he has to work on. Now, for those who are concerned, and I've heard a few people say this, and I've addressed it before, but just about the dynamic between DJ and Nelly Davis in the backcourt, because they're both guys who like to have the ball in their hands, whatever. How's that going to work? Are they going to be able to share it? Kentucky always has guys who need the ball in their hands, right? I've got something for you if you're concerned about it. Looking at KenPom, DJ Wagner's possession usage at Kentucky last season was 21%. His percentage of shots taken for Kentucky last season was 21.7%. Both of those ranked third on Kentucky's roster, which is probably about right, probably about where he needed to be for that team. Neither one of those figures ranked inside the top 500 players in the country at KenPom in terms of how many shots he's taken and his usage rate. You know where DJ Wagner did rank inside the top 500, though? His assist rate, 19.8%. So there you go. I get it that he is a guy who likes to create offense. You'll get some ISO mixed in there. So, yeah, those are some things they're going to have to work on, pick their spots with. But he's not a black hole, and he does share it, and the stats point that out. What is Torvik expecting for DJ Wagner this season? From the looks of it, a scoring uptick. I mean, he was 9.9. I said 10 earlier. He's 9.9 points per game last season. But they've got him projected to be Arkansas' second leading scorer behind Nelly, 13.5 points per game. If you get that from DJ, that's really solid. Almost 4 points per game higher there for him. 3.6 rebounds, so almost doubling his production on the glass. And then 3.1 assists, so about right where he's at. I would be very pleased with that if you got it from DJ. Ideally, for me, how about you take 1 point away and you add an assist, right? How about a dozen points per game, 12.5, and then you get that assist rate up to about 4 per game? That's when I think not only would you have the best version of DJ, but you might also have the best version of the rest of the team in terms of the offense and the flow that they have there. And, if you are saying going from just under 10 to just under 13 points per game, maybe that comes by an extra 3 per game, right? Like maybe he gets that shooting percentage up, get your field goal percentage up closer to that 44, 45% range, get the 3-point percentage up over 30%, 32, 33. And then you get that kind of stat line. And I think you're really cooking there if you're DJ Wagner. But I'm really, really pumped to see him on Sunday down there at Pine Bluff and see what he brings to the table and the progress that he's made, because I think he's a super, super important piece for Arkansas in a backcourt that doesn't have a ton of depth. Boy, they got a bunch of talent between him, Boogie, and Nelly Davis back there. So that'll do it for today's episode of the Hoop Hogs Video Mailbag. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I believe we turn the page to Billy Richmond. So it should be fun. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, make sure you get subscribed to our YouTube channel, Inside Arkansas, so you can follow along. It's been Curtis Wilkerson with the Pod at the Palace. We'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good one.